All right, I think I figured out what's going on. I think it was because I was plugged into a USB 3.0 instead of a USB 2.0. So if you can hear me, let me know. I'll write a comment here. Is it working? Because I think I figured out, and I've had this problem before, is that I cannot get it to work in a USB 3.0. And I had tried to plug in my microphone into USB 2.0. So if you can hear me now, let me know down in the comment area, the live chat. Yeah. To you guys than the beta version when I did the live stream back then. Yes, I am using autofocus. So I should be in focus. That's one thing about the webcam utility, is that it allows you to use the autofocus, whereas if you were using the HDMI, you run into some problems there because it has the autofocus box. So you have to turn off the autofocus and the focus peaking in order to get that to work. You can hear me good? Awesome. Awesome. Welcome, Welcome, everyone. This is I think the second live stream that I've done, and I really wanted to figure out if the webcam utility works better than the webcam utility beta, because I was really hoping that it was going to. So if you think, what resolution are you currently getting from this? I'm not sure if it's, I know before it was like throttled at 480, and so I had a big problem with that. And I would love it if this is allowing it to be even 720, because the 480 just didn't look very good. So I'm gonna real quick pull up the video to see my lag and everything on. Thanks for bearing with me. The 480. Okay. Sorry. 360 is what it's giving me automatically. It looks like for some reason it's still throttling it at 480. I doubt that. If anything, I think the throttle is probably through my computer. It might even be the USB 2.0. I don't know if you can actually transfer 1080p through a USB 2.0. Or let me try this real quick. Does that look any better? Or no, I'm not using OBS. There's actually two ways that you're able to live stream through YouTube. One is to use something like OBS, and there's like two different menus. The other is to use your webcam. And what the EOS utility does is it allows you to basically act as a driver to use it as to use your camera as a webcam. So it doesn't, you don't have to have, that's one thing I like about this, is that you don't have to have the extra streaming apps like OBS. It allows you. Yeah, I don't know why the audio is so out of sync. Probably if I used OBS, I could sync that up better, but I just trying to figure it out. Wow, welcome everyone. There's a lot of people in here right now. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like Eric Skavinsky said that you can dial the latency on the audio if you're using OBS. Yeah. If you use HDMI, you can use 1080p. I don't know if you can use 4K. I know that you can use 1080p if you use the HDMI. And so if quality is more important to you than ease of use, which in this live streams, I'm not much of a streamer, so I don't know about it. I don't stream very well yet. And so thank you. I don't know how, I haven't learned the etiquette of streaming, as well as what people expect from streaming, whether they expect something that's more of a quality thing, or just sort of an ad lib, just off the cuff, nice to be streaming type thing. So let me know, what type of live streams do you like? And if you have any questions, let me know. I will. I'd love to hear them. And I only have probably about 20 minutes maximum before the M50 battery runs out, and then I'll have to get off because I don't have another fully charged one, and I'm using all of the outlets here at my studio in order to power lights, so I can't even plug one in at the moment. So yeah, let me know if you got a comment. Alex Skavinsky says, congrats on saying my last name correctly. Yeah. Oh, thank you, SPK Lifestyle. I gave up and upgraded to a 90D. Yeah, I don't blame you. I have a feeling that Canon is going to be supporting the EF line more than it's going to be supporting the ES-M line. I think when Canon originally created the ES-M line, they were sort of thinking, well, let's dip our toes in the mirrorless world. They weren't taking it seriously because they thought DSLRs are the future. And so when they tried to start packing stuff in to the smaller camera, the M50 and the other cameras, they realized, wow, we really have to throttle these cameras in order to get a camera that works well. And so I think that Canon is getting rid of the M line because they're not able to do optically what they wanted to with the mirrorless lenses on the EOS-M, but then also they also didn't have to. I don't think it was a lot of forward planning like there has been with the EOS-R line. I think when they came out with the EOS-R, they knew that that was kind of a subpar camera, but they wanted to have, they wanted to put a lot of thought into the system. And that's what I think that you're buying into when you buy the EOS-R. With the M50, you're buying the M50. You're not buying into the EOS-M system because the system isn't like going anywhere. But I just, M50 Mark II, I doubt, it sounds like okay, so I've actually heard of conflicting reports. I heard that they were going to release sometime in the next year or two. They were going to release like 5 EOS-M lines. But then recently I've seen some rumors that they're only going to release one more camera, maybe a new kit lens, but then no new lenses. And so right now it's totally up in the air. It probably is going to depend on what future Canon sees in the EOS-M line, not just in terms of consumer marketing, but is there a future in the system? Hey, Rob, I cannot, Christiansen? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you. He says $5 for the coffee fund. Thank you very much. A lot has to do with the graphics card in the computer. Yeah, the computer I use for all of my editing is a computer that I bought like 5 years ago for $250 and then put a $100 solid state in. And it's a laptop. It's not that powerful of a machine. So I can't even do stuff like screen recording while editing. I can't even play back 4K. And that's one of the things that I'm planning on getting in hopefully the next month, is getting a computer that I can do more of what I want. Because I have a GH5 sitting right over there in that bag that is just waiting for me to get a powerful computer so I can do 4K, 10-bit, and all that. Okay. You said, Alex Kavinsky says, I went through all this and was beating my face off the wall. I belong to a Facebook group called Quarantine Karaoke, and with OBS, I was able to dial everything in and get results. So I guess you're talking about the syncing the audio. Yes, I need to do that. I tried to use my microphone, but I bought this microphone. It worked for recording. I was able to record my voice back when I was doing the video on the microphone, but I haven't been able to get it to work with my computer yet. So with live streaming, I mean. So maybe maybe if I use OBS, I'll be able to do that too. Nicholas Federico says, my Canon M50 seems to have a dead USB port. I really don't know about that. Is it like not working at all? Or is it just being finicky? If it's not working at all, maybe it's dead. If it's just being finicky, or it like is showing up but then you can't use it, so it's not even showing up on your computer. Are you using USB 2.0 or USB 3.0? Because I cannot get mine to work at all, not showing up. And you've tried other cords, I assume? I don't know. I don't know about that with the USB. It could just have been broken. I hope not. You could try and send it into Canon and get it fixed, but I just don't know. And connect it through Wi-Fi. Yeah, check. I had started this live stream earlier and the video didn't go anywhere. And it was because I was plugging it into a USB 3.0. It hasn't let me do anything. It sort of showed up as an icon on my computer, click on it, nothing happens. But when I plugged it into the USB 2.0, everything has worked flawlessly. Unfortunately, that means that it throttles the speeds of everything. So like right now, I have a bunch of lag on, and it's kind of jittery, the video quality, because of the USB 2.0, I think. I'm not sure about that one. So I wonder if something like one of the EOS Rs or the newer cameras, if they have USB 3.0, I wonder if they would stream easier. If you have one, let me know. Okay, and Roger V.A. Hansen says, if they end the M line, being known as the M50 guy, what are your future plans for the channel? So I'm planning on continuing to do content on the M50. When I get a new computer, I'm planning on doing content on the M50 and the GH5. Like in the next few days, I'm hoping to release a video about the GH5 1080p 120 versus the M50 720p 120, and sort of a comparison, because that sounds totally crazy. Why in the world would you do that? But I've gotten some good results out of the M50 720p. Neither of them have audio, neither of them have autofocus. And so I wanted to see if people would really recognize the difference. Wow. Thank you, Eric. Eric Skavinsky I can't speak. $50. It says, take care of that little lady. So glad to see you back. Thank you, Eric Skavinsky. That is amazing. I really appreciate it. Wow. And I lost track. Oh, the future plans for the channel. I want to do more. I've been listening to some podcasts, and I listened to one recently with Linus Tech Tips, and he was talking about using the gear and the techniques to sort of teach more in-depth stuff. And that's really what I've always tried to focus on this channel, is not just teach the M50, but teach about aperture, ISO, shutter speed, teach about autofocus, teach about manual focus, teach about different things that will help you across all camera systems. And so I want to be able to, basically what I want as the tagline for the channel is talking about creativity and filmmaking, because those are the two things that I really want to pursue. Like with the videos, if many of you have seen them with the passion or purpose, I would like to make some more of those like video essay type videos, and some other type of content like that dive more into the film theory more than just the filmmaking. And then I also want to do gear videos, but not just as like, here's a review, here's an unboxing type of thing, but teaching something about filmmaking, vlogging, YouTube, creativity within the scope of that video. And that's really what I enjoy watching and what I enjoy making. And I think that there is, like, when people ask something like, well, what light should I be? What light should I buy? Well, that entirely depends on what you need. And I am excited to show, like, which camera should you buy? Well, you can get an M50 and you're going to be able to get great content with an M50. And I'm planning on also trying to maybe shoot some mini docs with the M50 to get experience shooting something other than vlogs. One thing I want to learn and teach you is not just the shooting yourself part of making videos, but I want to be able to film other people. And so in the future, the future of the channel, I'm planning on focusing a little more on filming other people. And that's that. Okay, I have a lot of questions. Pre-ordered the Sony a7S III, leap of faith, starting a videography business. I'm not even at your level. If successful, you'll be donating a camera to me. Thank you, Caesar's Take. You know what? My friend Cody Scott, over here on YouTube, really good friend. When we started filming together, I was like teaching him shutter speed. And now he has so far surpassed me. One thing that starting a videography business and a photography business that is really going to help you is just constantly doing it. You're going to be doing 5 videos a week, and you're going to get so much experience in no time. You're going to be well beyond where I am. Do I like the Sony ZV-1? Should you get it? I don't know anything about it. A few people that I have seen their reviews and I trust is Sony Dianzon. I enjoyed his review of it. Matty, I watched his review of it, and those are 2 people that I know. Sony, they like Sony, and now Matty's actually seemed a bit. Sydney, I kind of liked his better because he was talking about like using it in a professional sense, whereas Matty seemed to be like, well, if you want a professional camera, just buy a professional camera. So I would look up Sydney Dianzon's video on the ZV-1. That was a good one, and it's going to give you a lot more insight than me blabbering about it. Larry Tannoy says, hey man, love your channel. Been following you since like 300 subs. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy that we are at 12,000 plus subscribers. It's really crazy when you think about like a stadium that holds that many people. If I would be like I am probably right now, just completely unable to talk if I was standing in front of a crowd of 12,000 people, and yet that's how many people are subscribed. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate every single one of you. You convinced me to get the M50 all here, and it was great. Yeah, you know what? If Canon could really dial in with the system and specifically the lenses, I really think that they could have a good budget system that would complement the ESR line. I don't know if they're going to want to, especially in this current world. I just don't think that they're going to want to do that. Do I have any plans for macro photography? Not really. Goodbye, Rob Christiansen. That was like 15 minutes ago, but thank you for everything. Thank you for sticking around. You've been here a while. Klaus Franzen said, I used the M50 for live streaming last week for an event through OBS on Facebook. Great quality using the beta version. Facebook only allowed 720p. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure. So you used it through OBS. So the USB 2.0 wasn't throttling it to 480? Interesting. Yeah. Sorry about the stream quality. I'm gonna get, well, when I get a USB, a HDMI cable, I probably will end up using my GH5 for live streaming because that has a much better platform for live streaming. Any thoughts on starting my own production company? I have the knowledge to do so. Yeah, I have the production knowledge. I could to start a production company. What I lack is more of the financial side of things. Like, I currently run my business, but I work better in cabinets, what I currently do, as a subcontractor. I wouldn't want to start my own business selling or building cabinets. There was so much headache in that. So if I did it, if I did production, I would more want to do it within a subcontracting space, not as much of a owning my own production company. Reflecting Records. Okay, he says, my channel, I'm using the M50 via USB and looks better than this. So it might be my computer. My computer might be really throttling it. Kevin Doan says, did anything change now it's out of beta? Well, one thing, they expanded it a lot. Now there's 40 cameras that are allowed to use it instead of only 25, I think. And also, really cool, you can now record to your memory card at the same time as your live streaming. So if you're wanting to like add a live streaming segment in your video, then you can actually do that. You can record 1080p video, even if your computer isn't able to put that out because your Wi-Fi can't handle it or your computer can't handle it. You could record that live stream if you wanted to post it later. Maybe I should try to get in touch with Canon about that. Eric Skavinsky says, I bought my M50 due to your content, couldn't be happier. I plan to do music videos, shoot strictly using the M50 with the Nifty 50, but you're also debating the Sigma 16. Which would I choose? It depends on what type of music video you're going to do. I know a lot of the pop videos are shot wider, so 16 might be better for that, but 50mm is a great production lens. And I would probably use the kit lens and the 50mm for a while until you can get the 16mm. Got to get a few other things, and of course, life is always keeping me from buying as much gear. Dr. Med Dragon says, why only 480p? I need to figure that out. It's probably just due to my computer, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not using the live streaming area, but you had to use OBS for. So if I use an extra program, which my computer can't currently handle, it might be able to get the resolution up, because I think it looks better on like Zoom than it does on YouTube. So I have to figure that out. Okay, Reflect Record says USB 3.0 helps. Interesting. I haven't gotten my camera will not work using USB 3.0. I've only been able to get it to work through USB 2.0. Jake of All Trade says, I love using vintage lenses on the M50. Do I have any favorites? Planning on shooting a short film and with the vintage lenses, kit lens, Magic Air 2, and a Zion crane. Actually, yes. This lens is an amazing lens. It is, the one I have is a Nikon mount, but actually, back in the day before we had interchangeable lenses, before we had mirrorless systems, they actually created Tamron created a lens that you could switch out the mounts with. So you just twist off, and you have them right there, and then you just have mounts. This one's for Nikon, and then I adapted it to Canon EF, and then I use it with either my regular adapter or my speed booster. But this lens is probably my favorite lens I've ever used. It is pretty sharp, not like super sharp, but it's pretty sharp, and And because it's a full frame lens, you can use it with the speed booster and get about a 20mm f1.5, and it flares beautifully. It might actually be really good for the short film you're doing. So yeah, it's the Tamron Adaptol 28mm f2.5. There's loads of them on eBay. Am I planning glass investment, and what I suggest full frame lenses or crop body lenses? So I'm actually planning on, oh, my battery, hold on. Will this work? It worked. I need to get. I'm planning on probably getting some crop sensor lenses that I can use both on the M50 and adapt to the GH5. I'm not positive about that yet, but that's what I'm currently looking at, because I want to be able to get better glass for the GH5 and better glass for the M50. And so I might go ahead and do that. That way, like, if I ever move to an ESR system or really any system, you can always adapt Canon EF lenses. But usually crop lenses are a bit cheaper, so I'm thinking either getting the Tamron 11-16 2.8 or the Canon 10-18, but that one's not very wide aperture. So okay, Claus Frankson says live streaming through OBS wasn't your laptop, so you can't answer about USB 2.0 or 3.0. Streaming hardware is heavy, but OBS lets you delay streams, so the PC encodes and decodes before it hits the web. Okay, is that about the audio? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by the encoding and the decoding. Gail Review says, I think you just solved my issue. My camera won't connect to my PC. Yeah, I don't know why. It just doesn't connect to USB 3.0 on my computer. Or am I using the camera mic or external mic right now? Right now, I'm using the PC mic because I have a USB external mic, but for whatever reason, I cannot get it to work with YouTube. YouTube just completely cut off the audio. It didn't allow me to use it at all. But, oops. Let's try and plug it in again. Did that change anything? Did that change anything at all? Went on tour with a band with your... Went on tour